Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Nadia Putri Siregar. I am from class 33.4a.02. I want to read my final project, Poetry Appreciation. Here we go. Number 1, Work Setting, Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Some say the world will end in fire. Some say in ice. From what if tested of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I know I know enough of had to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Analysis work setting. Fire and ice is only lines is only 9 lines long, but it manages to pack a lot into a compact space. The poetic speaker introduces two contrasting points of view held by different groups of people. The poem doesn't identify who the people are specifically, but only notes that some believe the world will end in fire, while another group believes that it will end in ice. The speaker then considers each of these points of view and decides that though they side with the group that that believe the world will end in fire, they also realize that ice in ice is an equally destructive force that could just as easily lead to the end of the world. Some literary critics believe that Robert Ford's Fire and Ice is a is is influenced by the epic poem The Inferno by the 14th-century Italian poet Dante. The Inferno describes the poet taking a journey through hell, and later in the other works by Dante, through purgatory and paradise, and observing the fates of sinners. Some have pointed out resemblance between Dante's work and Ford's. The 32nd section or canto of the Inferno describes a section of hell in which sinners are almost completely trapped in a lake of ice while also surrounded by an everlasting fire. The contrasting imagery of fire and ice simultaneously present in the work is evoked in first one. Hell, as described in Dante Inferno, is structured as a series of nine concentric rings. The rings resemble a funnel, being wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. Readers have noticed that Force, Fire, and Ice not only has 9 lines possibility equating to the to the 9 rings, but the lines also have a similar structure when printed. They are rather longer at the beginning than at the end. The apo- apocalyptic force reference in Fire and Ice work on the two levels. In a literal sense, fire and ice can be destructive force. On the other hand, the ideas that the poem clearly connects fire and ice to this desire and hate perspective can be equally all-consuming. Hate and desire are not force that can literally destroy in the way that the elemental's force can. However, the poem suggests that when people are driven by an obsession, whether flooded by hate or desire, destruction can result. Aside from the symbolic terms, Ford utilizes other language that is abstract but equally clear in emphasizing the poem's theme. The speaker mentions destruction, the thought of perishing twice, and in the very first line, the idea that the world will end. Next, author's background. Poem A Red Rose by Robert Burns. Number 2, author's background. Poem A Red Rose by Robert Burns. My love is like a red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tunes. So far art thou my bunny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love the still my dear, till the seas gang dry, till seas gang dry my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. The will of the still my dear, while while the sense of fall of life's surround, and fare the well my only love, and fare the well a while, and I will come again, my love, though it were 10,000 miles. Analysis author background. Popularity of a red rose. Robert Burns, a famous Scots poet, and lyrics wrote this poem. It is one of the most popular love poems and was hundreds first published in 1794. The poem explores the phenomenon of love. It compares the narrator's attempt to express the depth of this love. Since its publication, it has gained a lot of popularity across the globe. A red rose as a res- representative of love. The poet very artistically draw a picture of his profound love. He paints this picture with intense emotion. The speaker compares his beloved with a red rose and sweet melody to intensify his deep feelings for her. He addresses He addresses her, proclaiming that his love will stay still until the seas dry up and the rocks melt with the sun because his beloved is so adorable. For some reasons, He has to go far away from her, but he problems the return even if he has to travel thousands of miles to win her back. What awakens the reader is the metaphorical rep- representation of love through natural phenomena, the sea and the sun. Major themes in Retros, love and separation are the major themes given in the poem. The, the poet has layered them with using metaphor of natural objects. The poem is primarily concerned with the speaker's love for his significant other. He adores her beauty and expresses his immeasurable love for her. His love is so deeply rooted that it will stay forever no matter what happens. Literally devices are tools that enable the writers to present their ideas, emotions, and feelings and also help the readers understand these more profound meanings. Robert Burns has also used some literary elements in this poem to show the beauty of the beloved and the intensity intensity of his love. The analysis of some of the literary devices used in this poem has been listed below. Smile. Smile is a device used to compare an object or a person with something else to make the meanings clear to the readers. There are two smiles used in the poem. The first is used in the first line. "Oh, my love is like a red rose." Here the poet compares his beloved with a red rose. The second is used the third love. "Oh, my love is like the melody." The poet compares his love with sweet melody. Consonants. Consonants is the repetition of consonant sounds in the same line, such as the sound of "l" in and "fare the well a while." Enjambment refers to the continuation of sentence without the pause beyond the end of a line complete of stanza. Poetic and literary devices are the same, but a few are used only in the poetry. Here is the analysis of some of the poetic devices used in this poem. Stanza. A stanza is the poetic form is some line. Where are four stanza in this poem? It consists of four lines. Quatrain. A quatrain is a four-line stanza borrowed from Persian poetry. Here, each stanza is quatrain as the first one and the second one. Next, 3. Critical Perspective Poem A Prayer Inspiring by Robert Frost. Number 3. Critical Perspective A Prayer Inspiring by Robert Frost. Oh, give us pleasure in the flowers today, and give us not the thing so far away. As the uncertain harvest keep us here, all simple, all simply in the spring of the year, a gift of pleasure in the orchard white, like not like nothing else by day, like goes by night, and make us happy happy in the happy bees, the swarm dilating around the perfect trees, and make us happy in the darting bird. The suddenly above the bees is heard. The suddenly above the bees in is heard. The meteor that trusts the the needle bill, and of a blossom in mid-air stands still. For this for this is love, and nothing else is love, the which is reserved for God above. For this is love, and nothing else is love, the which is reserved for God above, to sanctify to what for ends he will, but which it only needs that we fulfill. Analysis critical perspective. A prayer inspiring by Robert is a short simple poem in which speaker asks God grant him and those around him peace today. In the first stanza of a prayer inspiring, the speaker begins by asking for something simple. He wants us the he wants us to take pleasure in the flowers today. At its simplest level, this line is a straightforward summary of the main theme of this piece. For speaker is speaking peace and happiness to nature, but isn't sure if he is going to get it. The second part of the third line and the fourth line and fourth line asks the listener God to keep us here. A riddle so take note of the fact that force use the word us rather than I. It, it is it is not entirely clear who the us. But when one considers the fact that this poem takes the form of a prayer, then it makes a little bit more sense. The us is genuinely all of humankind. The second stanza of a prayer inspiring also begin with the word "oh." This time talk the speaker asking that the word is given pressure in the orchid white. A reader should take note of the fact that this line is structured in the same way as as the first line of stanza 1, but are asking the fourth speaker and those around him are given something in pleasure. The third stanza of a prayer inspiring begin differently than the first and second. Here The speaker jumps right into describing another aspect of his surroundings. There is a darting bird in the scan. Initially, it seems as though this could be any small, quickly moving bird, but in line 3 the bird bill is referred to as the needle. This seems to, to imply that the speaker is looking at the hummingbird. It is heard above the bees and is another simple delight of the scan. The, the fourth stanza explains why the speaker cares so much about sharing these joys with the with those with those around him. He feel, he feels like he feels that the beautiful things of sparing are love. There is nothing else that is like the pleasures of the seasons are available for everyone to sense and enjoy. For the next analysis poem number 4, for the next analysis poem out by Robert Ford's on intrinsic extrinsic elements. Next, intrinsics. Intrinsic. One theme, life and death. 2 point of view, first person. 3 tune and atmosphere. In in the first few stanza when the child is still alive, the tune used in passionate and passionate. When the verse where the child has died because his hand was cut, the tone changes of death as well, as if there is no life after that. For typography, single stanza poem made up of 34 lines. Number 5, rhythm, no single rhythm. Number 6, figure figure of speech. In the first stanza of Out Out, the speaker begins by describing talk vibrant, sound strange adjective, the presence of a bass sound. It is personified talk, it's snarling like animals and rattling as if out control or is close to falling apart. Next, extrinsic. Number 1, biographical elements. Recreates a true life tale in which a boy loses his hand in an accident, the shock of which goes to to kill him. Sympathy is the dominant tone of the poem. The poem begins with, with the speaker describing the setting. A young boy is a young boy is outside cutting wood with a powerful industrial saw against the backdrop of a mountainscape. Partway through the next saw jumps the cuts off the boy's hand. He is taken to the doctors who given him to the doctor who 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 gives him ether. Then all of sudden he dies. Number number 3. Fellow elements. Human will becomes enemies for themselves if humans don't know how far their limits can last. Less social elements. The the child who is too eager to work can become boomerang himself. There there is not enough time to rest. The chainsaw that become his friendly instantly turns into an enemy and kills him in a second. Message from the poem out by Robert Frost. Work enough well to whatever is done in excess. Of course there will be consequence. Health and safety is number one. Whatever is done, if it is beyond human control, will become an enemy for oneself. For the next poem that with 5 figurative, the elements of rhyme and alliteration. Number 5, third poem that contains with 5 figuratives. Number 1, smile. Having an obedient animals is a dream, like telling a cat to think quickly, move your tail, and she flaps her bulging tail. Yes, my cat has beautiful tail like silk hair. Number 2, metaphor, figurative metaphor. Chicken is everyone's favorite food. Who doesn't like it? Easy to find and process, and hard to lift, soft and easy to bite. Chicken meat is softer than mutton. 3. Figurative personification. If I could dance with the gods, of course it would make me feel comfortable. I want to live with the sea of birds up there, with the remains of my paintings. Wherefore, hyperbole. Every day waiting for him to coming back. He is a guy from my dreams. Perfect, handsome, and kind. I will love him until I die. And last, figurative metonymy. I sighed and went to carry him inside and looked deep into his eyes, then dropped it right is front of the is right in front of the place to eat. He just kept quiet and started devouring his whiskas. Okay, finish. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.